All right, now, welcome back to the T&M Podcast, episode 9. We have a little bit of a special one for you. Yes, this is a Cockney accent, if you guys were wondering about. So this whole episode here is going to be about memories. So let's get started. Woo! Man, I'm having way too much fun with that accent. We were talking about it. Pretty sure it's a mixture of Cockney, British, Australian, and maybe a little Southern in there. It's definitely not a single accent.
Yeah, but I mean, it's so hard to get accents.
Hard.
Like, a person who can do a good accent of any sort it's
like Teresa.
Like, dang, that's good.
Yeah. I was looking up, doing some voice acting training, and they were asking for a Cockney accent. I was like, oh, okay, what's this? I looked it up online. Nope.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to do that for a long time. So, yeah. Anyway, welcome back to the T&M Podcast. My name is Tyrell Miller.
And I'm Tim Esch.
Yeah, we are the T&M Podcasters. Yeah, the hosts here. Okay, I got to really drop the accent. It's a lot of fun.
Like you picked it up and you just kept going
with it. I'm just going to keep with it, bro. Okay, now. Okay. So, anyway. So, we have a little bit of a special one for you today. We are going to be kind of doing it free-flowing. I have a list of stuff, but basically it's going to be about memories, like some stuff over the
I'm
past.
going to be a little bit more free-form, not so much on one specific
not so
topic.
Structured. We're going to see how it goes. Sometimes those are the better. Sometimes those are the better ones. But before we do that, the next month of the week.
Yes.
I guess that kind of makes sense.
Week 2, month 2.
Month 2. We're going to go with February. Yeah, it's going to be on the screen. You guys could check it out. Did you ever look at it?
I did see it,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, February.
Oh, the February one.
Yeah, February.
I don't think so.
Oh, snap. Okay,
you just have it right there?
No, I don't. Okay, now we're going to have to check it out later. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we have February. You guys probably guess it. Gender female. Well, maybe she's a transgender. I don't know. We have so many genders nowadays. Anyway, we have like 32. Okay. Anyway, family role. Youngest aunt on the mother's side. Personality and description. She has little man syndrome. Now, why did I think of this? Yeah. You could probably guess is because February only has
the shortest month.
8 days.
28 days.
So when leap year is 29, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's small and she hates it. Okay. Anyway, she's also cranky. She's cold. She snaps quickly. But at the same time, she's beautiful. She's short. Obviously, she has little man syndrome. She's a tall person. That wouldn't make sense. Mm-hmm. And she has blonde hair and loves the color blue. So that's on the screen right now. I hope you guys like my mom's pictures. They're pretty good. I got her a little drawing pad for Christmas, and she's been going at it. Now she's doing us kids.
Yeah. I've seen a few of her posts recently.
They're pretty good. Yeah. Pretty good. Anyway, her relationship status is single. Oh wait, no. She's currently dating. I was looking at March. She's currently dating.
February is dating.
I had to do that because you got Valentine's Day.
Oh,
and I was like, that'd be stupid if she wasn't
single.
dating. So now the real question is, who's she dating?
Yeah,
because it's the months. Is there any months outside of the month?
But, so when it says aunt on the mother's side, what does that mean? Like the aunt of who?
Well, there's the mother and there's the father, and we are going to get that in the next, the mother in the next 4 and the father in the next 6.
Who are the kids?
You'll see. You will see. You can. That's good questions there, matey.
All right.
Brother. Okay, no. That's some good questions. You'll have to find out a little bit later. Anyway, so that's the month of the that's the month of the podcast.
The month of the week.
Yeah. Month of the week, February. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this started. So, like I said earlier, it's going to be a little bit more of a free-flowing episode. We're just going to basically talk and kind of whatever comes to mind.
So do you pronounce
February.
You don't do the R?
February.
Oh, I do. I'd say February.
February. That makes you sound like a little kid. It makes me sound like a kid. February.
Because is there an R after the B?
February. Oh, let me.
Is it February or February?
It's What? Did I just spell that wrong? I have it spelled here February. That's February.
Yeah.
February. No, there's no U in between the R and the B. It's February. I'm
it's February.
There's a U in between the R and the B?
It's
let me see it.
February.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
February.
I can't say it. February. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
But I mean, that's how
I don't give a
everyone
crap.
says.
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, we just go with it.
Yeah,
you understand the meaning. You don't get into the pronunciation. Yeah. I used to have a really hard time with pronunciation, like the word. I'd be like, pronunciation.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah. Well, already off on a tangent.
But I think it's because people say pronunciation, but it's pronunciation.
Pronunciation, yeah. Enunciate.
There's no O there.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a long word, man. It's a long word.
It is.
Yeah, Timothy's specialty is pronunciation.
Spelling and pronunciation.
Yeah, he's gotten angry at me before because I say something like, oh man, what did I say? There was some ones you got ticked at. There's one in
Monster Hunter where you constantly say the monster was Radobon.
Oh yeah.
And Radobon. You kept saying Robobon. I was like, come on, dude.
I mean, man, tell you what though, Monster Hunter, like the names make you sound like a nerd.
They're like intentionally hard to pronounce.
Xenojiva.
Yeah,
and the Anjanath.
Yeah,
it makes me go into immediate southern accent, you know. Anyway, nobody knows about that game.
Yep.
Or they can look it up. You can play it. Monster Hunter World. Anyway, we're not advertising that unless we want to. Sponsor. Okay.
New DLC coming this fall.
Oh.
They recently had a crossover with Assassin's Creed.
Oh.
They're having
everybody's having a
crossover with Witcher 3 coming soon.
For Honor just had a crossover with Assassin's Creed.
The 26th will be when the Witcher 3 one comes.
Just so everybody knows. So, interesting thing before we start into the past, delve into the past. So, on the way home today, my brother learned how to drive stick shift.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, so I took him in my car and he drove and, he didn't do bad. He put it in reverse and he stalled it right away and then he drove out and everything was fine and yeah, it was decent. It was pretty good. He stalled at the gas pump like twice, but that was fine.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. And afterwards he said, because you kind of have a weird foot thing with my car.
Well, you're doing a couple. You do a couple things at once.
He said his foot was like, well, first off, he was swerving everywhere. He's like, I can't think of two things at one time. And second off, he said his foot was really tired because it's kind of like you have to pivot off of it. And my car is really low. And so your foot is kind of weird.
You got to push it all the way to the floor.
Yeah. And anyway, it was fun. And we got home safely and I didn't die. So I was happy. Anyway, let's start us off with the memories of the past.
Okay.
And whatever. It doesn't even need to be back. It can be today.
Yeah.
So my first one, I have written down here. When I was very little, and I have this on camera. Okay. I was butt naked. We had this garage out in the middle of our yard, and my dad was cooking on a barbecue, and I basically, being the obnoxious person that I am, I took these pans and had this little spoon. It was bang, 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 running around it as people were driving by, and I was really excited. And
nice.
It was pretty fun. Yeah. Yep.
That's on camera?
Yeah, it's on camera. I have a lot of things on camera. I have my birth on camera. So when I was born, I came out not saying a single thing. Obviously I didn't say anything. Didn't cry, not at all. I came out looking at I came out perfectly fine. They checked my everything. And I was looking around and they spanked me and I went and they're like, oh, he's breathing, so he's fine.
Yeah.
And I was just looking at it. I was so curious.
Yeah, normally
you cry
normally
immediately.
If the baby isn't crying when it's coming out, then that's bad.
Yeah, well, because he can't breathe.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Anyway, so they got me on the wait table and some other stuff, and I think it was like 30 minutes later, they were giving me a bath, and I peed on the doctor, and the doctor was like, oh, what? And then I started crying right there. He's like, come on, you should like this. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah, I have that on video as well, so I can proof that I'm a pretty tough person.
I don't know what the first, video of me is. There's been a few Now, there's been a few pictures of me like as a baby, but I don't think we got a video camera until later. I do know
you were
that
Amish, weren't you?
some of my first. Well, I mean,
or did you leave by that time?
Yeah, they were gone. They were. My parents were never Amish when I was alive. So, but I'm pretty sure they got some of my first like few steps when I was like, well, at least when I was learning to walk, they had some video of that.
How long did it take you to just walk?
I honestly don't know.
Because I was a stubborn, smart kid. So
Yeah.
first off, I learned how to pee. I learned how to do, go to the bathroom myself by like the beginning of 2.
Yeah.
It was very early.
I have no idea when I was potty trained at all.
But then at the same time, like I didn't walk till I learned how to pee and poop before I learned how to walk. And basically, I mean, unless that's normal. But
not normally.
Okay,
no.
so what it was basically my mom, she would hold out a toy or something like that, something I wanted, and I was supposed to crawl to it or, stand up and walk to it. And I would stand up, or she would put me stand up and then walk to the other side and say, come here. And I would just flop to the ground, crawl over, grab it.
Yeah.
I know she would let me do it every single time. I think I did that for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure I'm a pretty stubborn person.
Yeah, I mean, that's how some kids are too. But
yeah, I was like, no, I'm gonna get it no matter what, woman. Let's go. So, yep. Anyway, okay. So yeah, okay. So my house. So this place I'm talking about, I used to live in Iowa. I used to live in Kelowna. And we lived on a farm, and we had a lot of stuff everywhere. Huge farm. I think it was like 140 acres. Don't really know. Actually, some good acres inside town. And we had this junkyard kind of in between my house and the farm.
Okay.
And there was like some refrigerators out there, a toilet, and some other stuff. Well, I didn't want that whole thing to get left out there without being used. So I walked out there and decided to use the toilet. So I took a crap on a toilet that's been there for, it was rusted over, and I'm just, whatever, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm just gonna use leaves, and my brother was there watching me, and I was like, Stetson, I actually can't use leaves, bro, go get me some toilet paper. Ran into the house and went and brought me some toilet paper, and I just, no shame whatsoever, bro. No shame.
I mean, we had some outhouses that I would use all the time, but I mean, those were, or also there's just like, and if we had a fort outside or something, there we just had an area where we'd go. And,
a little place where you...
Well, I guess if we pooped, we'd go kind of into the woods more, and then cover it with like a rock or something.
Yeah, some places isn't. So it didn't stink up and everything. Yeah. Man, what was I just gonna say? You were talking about having a fort, and well, I just spaced that. So yeah. Well, there was something else.
I don't know. Well, there's other stuff too. Like when sometimes my sister, I would like dress me up, and like put me in some of her like old dresses and stuff. That was the thing. There's a picture somewhere of where we went out to show my dad, and he was out like skidding something with the property, and so we went out there, and I had like
a dress on,
a little like Amish girl's dress on, and like. The head covering on.
Yeah.
And so I was out there like, and we had some pictures of that. And
I think this is why we have so many transgenders now, so many problems with transgenders. My mom forced me.
I'm not.
I know, right? Like, I put on that dress and I was like, this is nice. Really airy. So, anyway, no, my mom, like, forced me.
Really?
Yeah, I was like 5 or 6, and she was in the bathroom, and I think Stetson just got done. And she said, Tyrell, get in here. I was like, oh boy. And I walk into the bathroom. She closes the door, locks the door, and says, sit on the toilet. And I sat on the toilet. I'm going to dress you up as a girl today. And the next hour, I was putting makeup, hair done and everything. And by the time I was done, I looked beautiful. So, and actually, I had a very, very similar time. Montana history trip. Were you there?
No, that was the year before I went.
7th. Oh,
that
dang
was 7th grade.
Man, that was another thing. Okay, so unless I've said it on the podcast recently, did I tell you about this? I don't know.
About driving and throwing the pee out the window?
No. That's my brother's, my sister's.
Yeah. Never mind.
That was way back then on the very first Common Sense of the Week by Gerald Miller. Anyway, so I was with a group of girls and boys, and we were all having fun, and we get into this school, And for some reason, everyone was bored. They're like, hey, we're going to dress up the boys to be like girls. And we're like, heck yeah, let's go. And, I mean, because we get, girls get to touch our hair and everything like that.
Oh,
we're
yeah.
like, ooh, yeah.
Ooh,
a little bit of...
Put stuff on us to
exactly.
have girls be close to us.
Have girls be close while they make fun of us, basically. And so we were there for about 2 hours. Everybody's getting dressed and getting makeup and stuff like that. And we have a picture on Facebook. If you guys ever want to look at it, look up Tyrell Miller. Go to the very bottom of my. Don't go to the very bottom. You don't want to see some of those pictures.
The first ones.
You don't want to see some of those, but there were some good ones. And I'm there like posing like a boss.
Yeah.
And when I tried to, we had fingernails painted too. And when I tried to get those off, one of the girls was like, "Hey, yeah, you want to get your fingernails off? Just go run them with cold water." I was like, okay.
Nope.
I went and washed them with cold water, and they got stuck on. And the next day, me and 5 other boys are in the Capitol. We're in Helena at this time. We're in the Capitol, right outside the Capitol building parking lot with nail polish remover, and we're going, because it burned. We're like, it hurts, scraping off our nails. And so, yeah. And that was before the whole transgender incident. So we got...
incident?
Yeah, we got... yeah.
What do you mean by incident?
Incident as in like the exposure, I don't know.
The outbreak.
When it really, the outbreak. No, when it really started becoming popular. Yeah.
I mean,
my next 2 stories I have are about my brother. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever told you this. So, I was a scientist at a little young age of 7 or 6 or 5, whatever it was. And I found out you take a milk jug, okay, little plastic milk jugs. You take them, you put them over a fire, and they drip like acid. And it's so cool. And so I would just go around and and this is a really short story, but I basically go around and I just drop them onto the onto branches and leaves, and it'd melt through the leaves and stick down. My brother was walking around right behind me, and I'm just dripping them all over the ground, and all of a sudden one of them, he got onto his foot and he started screaming and running and yelling, and I saw him sprint back to the house, and I was like, Dustin, you're stupid. And I went back and continued melting jugs. I was a jerk.
Yeah, my brother and I had a lot of fun mixing chemicals and stuff.
Which you could have killed yourself.
I know, it's a horrible idea.
Bleach and... But we were yeah.
But it was, for us, it was all shop chemicals like lubes,
like the worst
lubricant
ones?
sprays and WD-40 and
bleach and ammonia.
I don't know if we did bleach or not, but...
Well, hopefully
we did.
You'd be dead.
Well, there's some times where there's...
Mustard gas.
One time where we were doing that to we were trying to make explosives and stuff around 4th of July.
Exactly.
And we had done some stuff because we had some black powder. Because we had kind of a cartridge reloading station, but we never used it, and so we had just leftover black powder. And so we're like, oh yeah, we're gonna put it in there, and we actually got videotaped us setting them off too.
And it worked.
Where we went and where we put a little bit, had them in just a can, some black powder and some gunpowder. Okay. And then had a sparkler in there and taped it up and set it out.
Oh, so the sparkler was the ignition.
Yeah, as the wick. And just and hid and oh man, what's going on? And then it'd go boom, and then a little flame ball, and we're like, oh, that's crazy. So what if we can do that with liquid stuff? Because that's flammable, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's do that. And so we just filled the thing with a bunch of different chemicals.
Just random things. I probably did the same thing.
And then we did the same thing with the sparkler on top. And we lit it and it went down. And then just...
soaked up.
Didn't go off. And we're like, uh-oh.
Do we go do it or not?
Do we go close to it? Yeah. So we waited for a little bit. And then we got up closer and I don't remember. I think we tipped it over and it spilled out, and so we and then we had a can to spray with, or we had a can of WD-40 and had a lighter in front of it and to spray some flame and sprayed it on there, and then it just burned. It was just on fire. It just burned. It didn't blow up or anything.
I think teenagers,
which is good,
are just amazed at fire and explosives, which is why we have so many arsonists.
It's so.
Or back
that's
then.
The thing.
It's so cool.
Blowing things up and awesome. Lighting things on fire and watching them burn is fun.
Yeah, so whoever told us that video games is bad, that's what we do on video games. So we're we can't do it in real life, we do it on video games. Anyway, I had a similar thing where we had a paint can, and we We have it on film. We have it on YouTube, actually. We put it out.
Oh, yeah.
And we stacked like this tower of what are they called? Sticks. What are they called? Sticks. On top of it, we lit it and we ran away. Got this fire going through the paint can in it, and we just waited there. And we have it. It was so perfect. Everything
was a really good fireball.
Well, okay, not just that. So we have it on video and we're watching it. And all of a sudden, pew! I'm like, oh, that's pathetic. Oh, it's funny. And we're watching it, and then all of a sudden, it's just like it gets a little bit hotter and whatever. And we're like, this sucks, because we actually said that. Well, this sucks. It was only $1 though. And I'm like, man, I wonder if. And all of a sudden, I mean, it was high. It was like 10, 12 feet high. And we're like, oh my God! And it was funny because we didn't expect it at all, and it was just really cool.
Yeah, and usually I think most paint cans will just end up just getting a hole and just
exactly.
Just
That's what we
out.
thought. That's what we thought it was, but it was pretty sick.
But it ended up going all at once.
Speaking of sick,
cool.
you made some amazing sparkler bombs this last bit.
I mean,
it
it's
was
fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, those
Massive.
I mean, just that's the fun part of it is this.
It was like a cherry bomb. It was like impact.
Yeah,
I felt it.
It's all about the thump. It's all about the feel of it. When you feel it in your chest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the good stuff there.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty good. Those are some pretty good.
This summer we actually, at camp we had made a couple of them. And so we're like, okay, well we're gonna go across the lake to go light them off. So we went and drove around across the lake. Went down by Dickey Lake, kind of like on the same road that like the rope swing is on or was on. And we like set it down there and lit one off. I think we had 3 of them. We lit one off, and of course, like it just echoes all the way across the lake. And we're like, woo, yeah! And then we see like, oh, what's this? There's this tree right here, and it's got a hole in it. Like I think it was like a bird had made a hole in it.
It's a little nest, like, and you put it right by the eggs.
Yeah, no, it was empty though.
Okay.
And we're like, well, it looks like it would fit right in there. So we're like, okay, let's try it. And so we shoved one in there and lit it, and it went off, and it split
the tree
like very like a lot, like this huge crack in the middle.
So it was pretty strong.
It was very dead tree too. So like it was pretty rotten at the bottom. And then we're like, well, we have one more. Let's do it again. So we put it in there, and then actually ended up knocking it over.
That's pretty cool. Speaking of explosives, or unless you have something else.
No,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My dad, this is not animal abuse, okay? We did not abuse animals. Well, this instance was quick and painless. But my dad happened to catch a sparrow.
Oh,
all right,
man.
and this is 4th of July, so he's got firecracker.
Oh.
Right. No kidding at all. He grabbed the bird, and it was still alive, and he opened its mouth and stuffed. He was curious.
Stuffed is it when he was a kid?
It was when he was like a teenager.
Okay.
Grabbed it, opened it up, mouth is there, stuck it in so he can't close his mouth, lit the end, let the bird fly away.
Oh,
the bird fly, bloop, 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 down it goes. I wish I could have gotten that on video. That's just so bad, but it's so good.
I mean, we used to do that with like after we'd gone fishing and caught a bunch of fish, and then after we like filleted them out, they're just the heads left, and we'd stick it in their mouths and just like.
Well, then they're dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was about to say this is why people get freaked out about animal abuse.
No, they're dead anyway. So
that whole story of that kid that was fishing.
What?
Those guys were fishing on a little bridge.
Okay.
And this family tells their kid, hey, go tell those guys over there that what they're doing is animal abuse. And they're
fishing?
Yeah.
Okay.
He has a license and everything like that. So technically, as soon as you get your fish, it's your property. Okay. So they go over there. The kid goes over there. Hey, can you let those fish go home, back to home or whatever? And they're like, sorry, we're going to eat these. And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you do that. And the father comes over. You're just going to say that in front of my kid? You're going to be mean to animals? Those animals feel pain, bro. Yeah. And eventually they get the mother to throw the fish back in the ocean or whatever. And the guy's like, we're going to call the cops because you technically just destroyed our property. You stole our property. You took away our property. They're like, you can't do that. Nature is not a property and all that other stuff. All this other stuff.
Well, the fish are all dead anyway.
Yeah. It was
they're in like a bucket or something.
No, they were. It was literally on the ground.
Laying out.
It was laying on there.
They're dead for sure.
They're gonna die. Yep. And it was just. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your property. Same with the guy that goes in and destroys they're at like this gathering, and this guy's holding a sign that says "Build a wall," and this girl comes over and destroys the sign, and the police come out here, and he's like. The police say, hey, we're gonna have to I'm gonna have to take you in because you were destroying property. She's like, what? Well, I'm not destroying property. I'm just destroying his sign. Yeah, but that's his property. He made it. Oh yeah? Where's the price tag?
What?
Like, you
What
do
does that
realize,
mean?
and he's like, we're not doing this. He's like, you do realize if he made it, it's his creation. Oh, but it's inciting hate speech. I mean, technically, we can go into it as much as we want, but hate speech is covered by the First Amendment. It's wrong, but.
Well, yeah.
Anyway,
back to
politics.
Back to killing animals.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's like a couple of our friends, like the Chups. There was one time I remember that they had like, because they had BB guns and they had like a bunch of pest birds around their house and they'd go and like shoot them all the time.
Sparrows, and yeah.
And so they, like one of them they shot and then they like plucked it and everything and then like had it in like a tiny little baggie. Okay. Yeah, it was dead. And then they like had it in their freezer and they were like,
were they gonna eat it?
They were like, I think they were gonna. Well, I mean, it was just like the boys were like, we gotta put it in the freezer and then maybe we'll eat it. And then I think they just ended up throwing it away. But there was another time where me and my brother and a few friends, or a couple friends we just went like hiking. Mm-hmm. But we didn't like bring any food or anything like that. And we're like, well, man, we're kind of hungry. Let's see if we can like. And we tried starting a fire, and we had a hard time starting a fire. It took us like half an hour because everything was just so like wet. Mm-hmm. It had rained recently, and we went up and ended up shooting like a
gopher,
a gray jay or something.
Okay.
And I'm like, all right, we're gonna cook it up and eat it. And so what we did, we like took it all apart and like put it on little sticks and like held it over the fire and like cooked it up a little bit. And
how was it?
It was horrible.
It was pretty stringy.
We didn't have any sort of like seasoning or anything like that. So we're just like
straight up meat.
Just meat.
Straight up gristle.
Just bird meat. And they're like,
yeah.
I ended up. I think I ate the heart, and that was the only thing that anyone ended up like fully eating.
Oh, so it was okay.
Everyone else was like, gross.
Yeah.
And it was just an experiment, I guess, just being dumb.
Speaking of, well, I don't know about eating hearts. I mean, we had some in Peru. That was amazing. Cow heart. Cow heart. I had cow heart. We had that big like buffalo or that barbecue area in Peru, and then we had some cow heart. It was my favorite meat. The only thing I hated down there was that turtle liver. That was just,
it wasn't bad.
It was like a good initial taste.
I like the taste,
and it was a terrible bad texture afterwards.
But then just liver texture in general is just like
turtle texture,
grainy,
turtle
gravelly,
liver.
and doesn't.
Yeah,
it's not good. But I thought the tortoise liver was okay.
It was whatever. The pop, I hated the pop too. But anyway, speaking of dead animals, again, if you're listening to this podcast, man, I'm gonna tell you a story because it's funny. It's not really funny, but it's one of those instances. Okay. So everybody has that one time where they didn't. Oh, okay, I have two stories of this. Then you have that one time that you didn't expect it to happen, but it's just everything worked out perfectly.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell my friends and I'm going to tell mine. So my friends, he's like my youth pastor, he was young. He was a little kid and he had this throwing star. All right. And there was a cat 100 yards away.
100 yards.
Maybe it was 100. No, it was 100 feet. 100 feet. A little bit closer.
A little more
it's like a third.
Yeah.
100 feet away. And he saw it and he's like, I'm going to throw this throwing star out, and just chucked it. And hit the cat. And so he grabs the cat, goes and hides it, buries it so nobody sees it because he was terrified that his dad was going to be taken. It was his neighbor's cat. And so he comes over and he tells his dad, I just killed a cat with a throwing star. And he's like, well, show me where you did it. And so he shows him. He's like, it's 100 feet away. That's crazy. Good job. That's bad that you killed a cat. He's like, well, what are we going to do about the cat? What are we going to do about the neighbors? Oh, we'll just be quiet.
Don't
he just died from the road. We just won't do it.
Hey, it's just lost, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's terrible. I love cats, but yeah, that's one of those instances. Yeah. The other one, I was working for the Forest Service, me and Jack, and there was a gopher. Or no, gopher. It was a little chipmunk. I love chipmunks. It was about 10 feet away, and I had a big old mallet, and it was I don't know how many ounces, but it was a decent sized mallet for hammering in big nails when we're working on fences. And I said, hey, Jack, do you think I can hit that thing? He's like, no, but go ahead, bro. And I tomahawked it, and literally I hit the back, then broke the back right there.
Man.
So it was just crawling everywhere. And he's like, oh my God, bro. And I sprinted over to it, slid onto it, grabbed the hammer, and, finished it off really fast. And then that exact same day we left. Well, I mean, that was awesome. First off, that was really cool. I mean, it was one of those bragging stories. I totally meant to do it. I didn't say I didn't mean to. I totally meant to do it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Next, that exact day, we go to this pond, this lake, and it's like this long hill. I don't know how far of a throw it was, but I have a decent arm. And there was a turtle in the middle of the lake. And I'm, again, with the Forest Service. I'm with the the counselors. And I said, hey, do you think I can hit that turtle with a rock? And they're like, no. And this is a long throw. It's a long downhill throw, so it's not that bad. And they thought I was just going to lob it. And they're like, yeah, go ahead. I'm like, okay. I take a rock, I step back, and just chucked it as hard as I could at him. And I'm not kidding, but I'm pretty sure you could see its head sticking out. And I saw his head go in, and the rock basically landed right where the head was. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I picked up another one to go throw it, and they're like, no, you're going to hit it. I was like, oh yeah, I got the face. Yeah, it sounds pretty cool.
Similar to that, except it wasn't like hitting animals or something. It was my brother.
He's throwing stuff at your brother.
So we had this like, just little like kid's bow. And then I had some arrows, and it had like a flat rubber tip on it. And so I was like, just shooting around, trying to shoot trees and stuff. And then like I saw my brother, he was just like mowing the lawn. He was quite a ways away though. He was like 50 away. Yeah, he was like 50 feet away, and I was like, dude, like without even thinking, just like went and just shot without even like aiming or anything. And it just right on inner thigh, like upper inner thigh, and he was just like.
Wait, so this had a rubber tip?
Yeah, it had a rubber tip. And so it would like thwack. He had a big weapon.
I bet he was ticked.
He was so mad.
Won't shoot that thing at him.
And I was like, I
there's no way he could hit it. Man, don't you love those excuses when you're actually the one that got shot? You're like, oh, totally.
I mean, I didn't try to hit you. Yeah. I just did.
I don't know. Man, speaking of throwing things, I try to. Okay, so some people know this, some people don't. I was a good brother, and then when Cessa was born, I was a perfect baby. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
And my brother was born. I got a little jealous. And I actually tried to kill my brother like 5 or 6 times. Not kidding at all. Like there was one time where he was in the bathtub and I was like banging his head on the. I don't know. He's terrible. Absolutely terrible. But I guess I don't remember this at all. But I guess I threw a saw blade at his face, and it literally. So from the bottom left cheek up to around the bridge of the nose and up towards the eyebrows. So I didn't hit his eyes at all. But I
like what kind of saw blade?
Like it was a saw blade, like a round blade. Like I chucked it like a. Yeah. I almost. That was really bad. But then, I used to have my brother like stand and like do this cross symbol.
Oh, so like I'm gonna throw a knife and see how close I get your head.
This is a BB gun. So I was like, do you trust me? He's like, yeah, bro, I do. I'm like, I've already tried to kill you 5 times. Anyway, no. So he'd just sit there. I'd try to see how close I could get it to his shoulder. He was so bad. I was a good shot though. I never did hit him once, but oh man, this is some bad stuff. I loved hunting back then, and my dad told me about the ground squirrels. So like gophers or ground squirrels. You go out in the hay bales, and it was like really, really hot that day. It was like 100 and some degrees. But I wanted to make my dad feel proud. And he said, yeah, you see that hole right there? Sit and watch the hole. And I was, so there was this hay bale and the hole's in the shade. And I was basically 2 feet away from the hole with a gun sticking down the hole, like ready for it. I was there for 2.5 hours. My dad eventually came out and he's like, you haven't moved from the spot. I'm like, yeah, but I need to get a squirrel when it comes out. You're going to scare it away. He's like, no. You don't sit and watch the hole right at the hole. Yeah. I tried that. I sat there I was diligent.
See, I never really was like
a hunter.
Yeah, but mostly because either I would go out and try to find something and I wouldn't find it, or I would find it and then I'd just miss.
Yeah.
Like gopher hunting and stuff, I'd go out gopher hunting by myself sometimes, and I'd never see anything. But that might have partially been because I couldn't see before I had glasses and stuff, or shortly after. And I was like when one time my family went antelope hunting over in eastern Montana, and they were always like, oh, there's a pack of antelope over there. You see them? And you can't. And I'm like, I can't see them. Yeah. I don't know where they are.
Did you ever like feign ignorance? You're like, yeah, I totally see them. No, I did that.
Every time I was like, I cannot see them. And they're like, really? They're like right. You don't see those. Nope. But I was also bad at looking for stuff too.
Yeah, same.
Like seeing deer in the woods or anything. Yeah. Like if I was hunting with my brother, you'd be like, "Oh, there's a deer right over there." I was like, "Oh, there's a deer."
Oh, there it is. Yeah. I was so ignorant about my bad sight. In fact, the only reason why I was ignorant, I didn't want to wear glasses because at the time I was like, glasses is for nerds. Because every single video, they really stereotype.
Oh, yeah.
Nerds. Every single person on TV that's supposed to represent it as a kid being bullied wears glasses. And so I assumed bully equals glasses equals I'm going to get bullied if I wear glasses. So I'm not going to wear glasses. And that's some truth right there. That's some deep stuff right there. And so I didn't want to wear glasses. And so basically they'd be like, "Oh, you see this day out there?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." You're like, "How many do you see?" Say a number. About 30. There's 2. He's like, "Oh, okay." I mean, it looks like grass. They all look the same. Yeah, so I was really ignorant about that, and that's actually probably why I didn't continue baseball. I couldn't see the baseball pitch until it was like really right close. There. Yeah. I got hit by a baseball. One of my last years, we actually won the championship undefeated. Like everything. We went to Libby and just kicked Libby's butt 14-0 and stuff like that. But like one of the
there was one year that we were on the same team, right?
Oh yeah,
and then
minors.
There were other years that we weren't.
We were
right?
on the minors, and the majors is where I only did 1 year of majors, and I quit because I did not want to say anything about my eyes. But
I did 1 year of majors as well.
You were 4th string pitcher, and I was 3rd string.
I pitched one time.
Yep, and that was the time that was the second time I pitched.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we had Colin, and then Ryan, and then me, and then you, and we all were used that one day. Yeah.
Because that's the thing. All the people from Trigo were like on the one team, and then the Fortine people were on the other team. Yeah. And so I was on the team with a bunch of like, I think I knew like 2 people, and one of them was like a girl.
It was like I was playing basketball. I'm surprised. I guess that's competitiveness, man. Like, you were on the opposite team of basketball, and it didn't matter if you had it or I had it. Either way, there's no holding back, bro. It was like, I'm going to kick your butt, bro. Yeah. Let's go. That was fun. It was a lot of fun.
And it was always like, you'd be going through the thing, be like, good game, good game, good game, good game. Like, you suck, good game, good game, good game.
Yeah, you suck, bro. Oh, man, that's so good. Yeah, you're right. We lived right beside each other, so we saw each other every day. Man, that's...
But that year in the majors, there was only 2 teams, too. Remember that? There were only 2 Eureka teams.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We were undefeated. Anyway,
and so and our team was not good.
I got hit by a ball, and I was an idiot and turned into it because I didn't see it, and basically hit my lower left rib, and I was like, "Oh, that hurt." And I walked to first base, and I get a handshake from the coach, and everybody's like clapping and stuff like that. And they're like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. And my dad walks out. My dad was assistant coach at the time.
Okay.
And he's like, "Tyrell, you good?" I cry right there. I'm like, "Dad, why did you come out here? I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm trying to suffer and quiet." Oh, man. Yep. Like, when a parent comes out and, like, asks their question, that's where we start, like, really, I guess it's just, like, a whole comfort thing.
And I know that year I was, like, that was the year I was like, I'm really not good at this.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also it didn't help, like, our team wore, like, red shirts. And then I had, like, blue socks from, like, 2 years before. And then I also tripped, like, I just did not look.
You just like I knew what I was doing.
I was just like, it was bad.
One of my first home runs, it was in the minor league, and I had to go pee. And I was next one up. The coach was like, "Hey, you gotta go up next." I was like, "But I gotta go pee so bad." And he's like, "No, you gotta hit, and then you can go." And so I walked out there, hit a home run, ran to the bathroom, and he's like, "By the way, next time you have to go pee, tell me. We'll get another home run."
I think I had.
You were probably there that day. That game.
I probably had 2 or 3 hits the whole year.
The whole year. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
you were just like me. I couldn't see until the very last bit.
I mean, I had glasses at that point, but I was just bad.
Yeah,
I just didn't swing most of the time. And then did you guys have like signals and stuff too?
No.
Or no?
No.
Our team had signals.
We had like run to first or run to third. I mean, like steal third or whatever.
Yeah, we had a couple. We had like just steal.
Yeah.
Just watch the
slide. That was a big thing for us.
Watch the
pitch.
Just watch the pitch go by, bunt, all this jazz, and then there was the one time that my coach actually had me
Do a bunt?
like do some, or was like sending me a signal to do something.
Mm-hmm. I
didn't remember what it was. I was like,
do it again, do it again.
Go again. He's just like,
signal for go again.
All right, just swing. Just go for it.
Disappointment, Timmy. Disappointment. All right, well, we are at the 39-minute mark, so we're going to go ahead and do Gerald's Common Sense of the Week. So he didn't really say anything this time.
Okay.
Well, I was at lunch with him, and he kind of just said 2 things, and they're pretty much common sense. So we got 1, don't enter a shower until you've checked the temperature. Actually, I have a story about that a little bit later. And number 2, don't sit down on the toilet until you have checked to see if the seat is down. That is a message for all you ladies. All right, anyway.
I never understood that.
Yeah, I turn on the lights when I'm going to go sit down.
Put the seat down or fall in. Like, turn the light on.
Typical teenagers that don't have wives. Why do you go to the bathroom
without turning the light on?
I agree.
I don't understand it.
I asked my dad that today, and he's like, "You won't know until you've done it." I'm like, "What does that mean,
Just
Dad?"
Turn the light on.
Just turn on the light. I look at this. I look where I'm pooping, bro. I'm not just gonna poop on the floor. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is what every man I've ever met that's married said. You're going to change when you're married. Like, that's basically what it is. They're like, you're going to change because as soon as your wife does that, she's ticked because her butt is soaked in toilet water. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. All right. So, well, we're going to go away from the whole killing animals.
Yeah.
Okay. So, actually, this is kind of... This is kind of
one. Killing animals.
Well, okay. So I used to. Anybody that knows, you guys know what a hobo spider is? It's a gigantic spider. Think of your hand. It's the size of your hand, about. Okay, and they're massive. They're absolutely massive.
Sure?
Like a 10-year-old hand. I mean, they're okay. So if I have the hand, they're between my knuckles. Okay. They're about that big. They're like a tarantula sometimes. They're long legs. And they're poisonous as well. They're like the third. In Iowa, they're like the 3rd deadliest because you got the brown recluse. That's like the top. We don't have black widows that I know of.
Yeah.
And I used to catch them. Okay, so the whole story, I'm pretty sure this is how it happened because I'm not a guy. I don't like fear things that, let's say, attack me. So either this was a dream or this was reality. I don't remember. I don't know.
Okay.
But I was walking out outside my house and there was this bucket of garbage. And there was a hobo spider in it. And I looked inside and it looked at me and it chased me away. Like, it literally ran after me and I sprinted as fast as I could. And then from that day on, for the next year, I would almost every day go out. Maybe not the next year. It was like the next couple months. I would go out and basically take a jar and catch hobo spiders. There was a very specific spot where I'd find them every single time. And what I would do is I'd take the jar and I'd open the rock, scoop, or I'd actually slam the jar on top of them and then try to get the lid underneath without getting my fingers bit or whatever. And then I would go show my mom. My mom would be like, "Oh, that's so cool. You should quit doing that." But that's so cool. And she would go and store them downstairs. Well...
Store them, like...
Yeah, she would put... I don't know what she would do, okay? I thought she
squish
it.
Oh,
totally. I thought she would store them. And so the next, like, a week or 2 later, my brother really likes the sound of breaking glass. In fact, when we play PUBG, he's just going in and out of the glass thing. I love this sound. It's so cool.
What is fun to break?
Yeah, it's
glass.
very pleasing.
Yeah.
And so he went downstairs and we had a whole bunch of jars everywhere and he started throwing glass everywhere. And when I found out about this, I panicked because I thought he just threw my entire hobo spider collection everywhere. They're probably infesting our house, but we never did find any inside.
Yeah.
Actually, and then I think a little bit later, my mom got bit by either a hobo or a brown recluse. And I was like, coincidence? I think not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Man. Actually, I just thought of a story that it's not really related a whole lot, but me and my brothers, or me and Steven, were... my other older brothers had 6-shooters. They had a bunch of single-action revolvers. And I think one of them was like a 22, the other was a 357. And we would just, like, played with them all the time. Or, like, we'd go and, like, play with them. And, like, we made sure that they were empty and all that jazz. And they'd be like, click, and, like, shoot at each other.
Yeah.
But then one time my brother was like, "Oh, yeah, watch this. I'm gonna..." So he took a bullet out, put it in, and it would go click, and count it out
Roulette?
He wouldn't spin it or anything.
Oh, okay.
He would just, like, count it out until he knew that the next one was the bullet, and then he'd let it back and then take it out or whatever. And every time I was like, no, he's gonna do it. Don't do it. I didn't count or anything.
Yeah.
And so
that's stupid though. That's so dumb.
And then the one time, because we were upstairs.
I bet I've heard this story.
Yeah, I'm sure you've heard it before. Go ahead. And then the one time, he was like click, 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 and then he went to let it down, went to let the hammer down, and it slipped, and he shot a hole in the floor. Man! And it went through the floor, out of the ceiling downstairs, and into a wall.
Wow!
Like my sister's bedroom wall.
Wow! That could have been some serious damage. It could have been
very bad.
Wow!
But my brother kind of has a history with unintentionally discharging rifles or just guns in general.
Dude, it's just brothers, man. I mean, my brother doesn't have a problem, but my dad's brother's the same way.
But I mean, he did that. Like, other times once we moved into another house, or our newer house, he had like a shotgun, and instead of like his way of testing that it was empty was to open the door and point it outside and pull the trigger. And there's like a pillar right out there, and he's like, hey, look at that. And there's just like a little hole. It's still there to this day, like in the pillar outside. That's funny. And then another time we're in 4-H, and we had this little lever action 22, and he had like, and we were always trying to get, because the 4-H project the class was what was it? Cowboy action. Okay. Montana, like cowboy action shooting. And so basically it's just a competition where you use some revolvers and lever action 22s and shotguns to like go through a course and shoot targets and stuff. So it's all about staying fluid motions and like getting shots off really quickly and just like in a pattern and accurately. And so he had just been practicing with it and like and just dry firing it like downstairs in the basement. And then probably my dad or somebody had actually loaded it and gone out hunting with it, like shoot some gophers or something, and then they left it and then they put it back, but they didn't unload it, and he didn't check to see if it was unloaded. So another time he just grabbed
Guns
it.
101.
Yeah, he just grabbed it and he went pow and just right out the basement window, just shot a hole in the basement window. And
Steven.
Just like, oh,
that's not good. Well, what do you do about that? I mean, like that's your fault, and it's just.
And he's like, oh crap!
Oh snap!
And then I think like youth group was gonna be there in like a few days or something.
You just cover it up with tape.
And then
I think I saw it.
And then like kind of the leader or the guy who's very anal about
anal.
Huh?
No.
Yeah, that's
tick.
That's a term.
Yeah, anal.
He's very like
it's butt, rectum.
No, he's very anal retentive about especially
gun safety.
About guns for sure.
Okay.
And so he was gonna be there like when youth group came in. We're like, oh, we gotta cover it up.
Snap.
So
what happened?
We hung like a blanket over the window. And
good
like
cover
that's
up.
not. You know,
it's dark outside. We're just covered in the sun during the day.
It was like because it was going to be in the yard and then to see it from the inside or from the outside.
So it's just a blanket covering the outside of the window.
Yeah,
that's
like,
so dumb.
That's not
going to work.
Yeah.
Why is there a blanket on the outside there?
No reason.
Yeah, don't pay attention to it, bro.
I think we ended up fixing it. I don't know, a few months later, but it was
my uncle, my dad's brother, was out there messing with 22s as well, and I guess he pointed it down. Like one time he had a pistol, and he put it in his holster, and accidentally discharged it, shot him in the calf, and he stood up and he said, "Gerald, I just shot myself." Like just completely no emotion whatsoever. They ended up getting him to the hospital and all that other stuff, but yeah.
It
happens.
So I think one of my dad's relatives shot himself in the foot with a 22. Yeah, it was like ooh,
that would have hurt. 22s ricochet in bones.
Yeah,
I mean, they have enough power to enter, but they don't have enough power to go through bones.
Yeah,
so it's just so deadly.
I think, and then there was a time where my dad, I think when they were still Amish,
shot himself.
Well, it might have been, no, he didn't shoot himself.
Oh.
He, or it might have been right shortly after they left the Amish, they had a truck, and he was unloading the gun in the truck, and the way you have to close the you can't open the chamber unless the safety's off. And so he was just racking the rounds through.
Yeah. And missed one? Or destroyed?
Well, no, and it slam fired. So he was closing the chamber, and it just went off, and he shot a hole like in the floorboard of the pickup.
How do you expect that?
Yeah.
That's just a dangerous.
That's why in hunter safety you see like people are like, oh,
it's better to have a safety.
You gotta go
button.
way out and push it down, like anyway. So there's no way it's anywhere it's gonna shoot anything, because there was, I think it was a documentary I watched on sometime on like the
people
Winchester, on one of the Winchester like 300 model or something like that, or no, Remington. It was a Remington 300 model that it would just discharge randomly sometimes. Where they had footage of,
that's not good,
of like military guys where they'd be like, all right, let's see if this happens, and then they just touch the metal on it and it would go off, and they're like, ooh. And they had a story about it where someone actually, they were hunting, they went inside like a trailer.
Recall those guns.
Yeah, they went inside like a horse trailer and were unloading it, and it went off and it shot someone outside.
Oh, okay. I guess if it's a Remington 300 model, that's gonna be a little bit stronger. But
so it went through the trailer. But it's like, man.
All right. Well, off the gun topic, did I ever tell you about my first tornado experience?
No,
I was in a tornado.
So.
I was in it, bro. I was like, anyway, a little bit of dynamic there for the mic. So basically, I was in Iowa, and my uncle Carolyn, my aunt Carolyn, was over in the house. Anyway, she was visiting, and I heard that there was gonna be a tornado. And my mom's like, you guys just need to get downstairs and hide in the bunker, because everybody has a bunker. I didn't listen. I told my brother and my sister to go grab their clothes, make sure we have enough clothes for a week. I went and grabbed board games, because we're going to be downstairs in the basement for the next week. I want to be able to play games while I'm down there. I went and grabbed food. I went and we had a lot of animals. I went and grabbed a ton of them. We had a goat. I brought the goat downstairs. I had everything in the downstairs basement. I even went outside this garage. We had these flowers, and I picked one flower. I walked back because I wanted to make sure I had one flower that was left remaining, because I thought my house was going to be flattened. And the tornado touched down, went back up. She completely ignored it. My mom's like, what the heck you guys have all down here? Oh my God, clean it up. I'm like, well, I just wasted all this time getting ready for a tornado, and nothing happened. It was the most boring experience I've had. Other than the sky looked awesome.
Yeah.
It was so cool. Very cool.
Yeah, I've never, I think the only tornado I've seen is from like the movie Twister.
Yeah, Twister was such a good movie.
Oh,
it's such a good movie.
That's scary.
Speaking of scary movies.
What?
Guess what I watched?
What?
The other day with Stetson.
What?
Bird Box. It is so good. It is such a good movie. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it, but everybody... It is actually
a good movie.
I know, but everyone is just like freaking out about it.
It's pretty good. I mean, it's not bad. Good actress, Sandra Bullock. Got a good male actress as well. I mean, you got the crazy guy from Red. Like, it's a good movie. It's pretty weird.
Oh, John Malkovich.
Yeah, don't watch it. All of you. I mean, I'm not. If you guys are not 17 or older, don't watch it. There's cuss words.
Is it R?
It's R. There's some cuss words, and then there's like a quick flash.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So don't watch it. And this also is kind of scary. It's a thriller. So, but we like dimmed the lights. We're all ready for a horror, and it was just good. You
know what's actually a really good movie is Annihilation.
Yeah.
It's kind of along those lines, but it's not quite the same.
I've heard something about that.
Kind of the same deal where it's just like it's randomly like just put out like just completely just like shoved into the
sci-fi
movie where there's just like a random like sex scene. Just like split up and shoved into random parts of the movie for basically no reason at all.
That's like all sex scenes
and
nowadays.
It's like, why?
It's for the teenagers.
Why is that there?
It's literally for the teenagers. It's so stupid.
Yeah, and
it's like Game of Thrones.
It's like supposed to be like before it happened, because it's this lady that she's like looking for her husband, and it's so dumb.
Yeah. But I thought the movie was good.
But the other, that's the only part I really don't like about it.
Cut and get rid of it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only part I don't like about it. Everything else is pretty good. It's very intense.
Okay.
It's really good.
Good thrillers should be intense.
It's a good thriller, for sure.
That's good.
And it's got I actually don't really remember the ending a whole lot, but it's definitely, not like a typical plot.
Okay. That's what I like. I want I want to make sure.
Yeah. I think it was on Netflix, like this spring or something, but I don't know if it is anymore. But yeah,
I'm gonna check it out. Me and my brother were okay. So we had this is my. I don't know if I'd say this is my most famous story. Me and my brother were out in our farm, and when you have a farm, we have a lot of extra oil. So you have a lot of crude oil, a lot of not crude oil. Crude oil is like when it's not processed.
It's before it's processed.
Yeah, well, this is like when it's old sludgy.
Used
which is in
oil.
barrels. Okay,
yeah.
We have red barns. Me and my brother would go in, and we were like, we touch the oil and like draw on the barns.
Oh, nice.
So we had all these pretty little designs and handprints on the barn, and I had covered my clothes. My brother and me were covered in oil. I didn't think anything of it until my dad came over and said, "Hey, what are you guys doing?"
Yeah,
we're like, "Oh, we're just painting the barn. It's so boring when it's just red." Yeah. And he's like, he eventually we had to light a fire. And I had my favorite sweatshirt ever. It was had a sun on it, and it was a smiling sun. And he took it off and he threw it in the fire and said, "This is what you did." Anyway,
it was stained with oil.
Yeah, it was stained with oil.
Yeah.
So we had to throw it away.
Yeah.
And I think the most haunting thing of that whole day was my mom was ticked. My dad wasn't that angry because he's like, "You guys are gonna, you're gonna get your punishment.
Yeah.
You know what's happening." So to get the oil off of us, what do you do? You have hot water, kind of hot water and soap.
Yeah.
So, I think my mom did it a little bit much. We didn't spanked, but
like scalding water,
scalding hot. So basically, we go over there. My mom's like, "You guys are gonna get burned." So no, that was we get over there to the shower. We're naked, and my mom's like, "You guys, this is gonna be hot." I'm like, "Cause you guys did something stupid." She was so angry, and she cranked that thing up. I swear she did it hotter than normal. And my brother is like crying before he gets in there, and when he finally gets in here, all I hear is, and he's just burning. He's burning. I was terrified. I was like, I'm going into hell early, bro. It was very, I don't think I remember. I probably passed out right there. I don't think I remember anything about how hot it was. I just know that my brother screamed in terror as he was getting washed.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. It was so good. Did I ever tell you about my the time my first bunny rabbit I ever killed that I tortured?
Oh no!
Legitly tortured.
I don't know.
My brother, he probably holds a grudge for this. I'm not a mean person. I don't like hurting animals. I've done it to elk. Obviously, I've done it to squirrels. I mean, I've done it to everything. This was bad.
But you don't like enjoy torturing them.
Even though when I was young, my mom thought she was gonna raise a serial killer because I guess I was found. I'm a cat person, okay? She was. There was this new litter of cats, and I guess I was grabbing the cats and throwing them against the wall. And then when she asked me why I was doing that, I said because I like the sound of it when they die. So anyway,
okay.
Anybody that knows me, I'm a lovable person. Anyway, so I shot this. Okay, so I was walking. We were bunny rabbit hunting. We were actually squirrel hunting with a BB gun. And I was walking, and there's this like big leaf on the ground. And I looked. For some reason, I had the desire to look under the leaf. And it's in the middle of this open path. I look under the leaf, and there's a rabbit right there. Big hunking rabbit. And I was like, oh, my dad said when it's a big animal, you shoot it through the eyes so it goes into the brain. And so I cocked it and shot it and it just dropped right there. I picked up the rabbit, and I was like just dragging the rabbit back. I'm like, I'm such a good shot. And I just shot this rabbit point blank when it didn't even move. It was just stunned. I showed my mom. I was like, hey, Mom, look at this. And she's like, that rabbit's still alive. I was like, oh. Okay, I'll be back. And me and my brother go into the shop. And we have a whole bunch of stuff on the shop, and it's like this little trailer laid out in the shop. And I said, Stetson, hold it down. Stetson holds it down, and I'm like, pop, right in the head. Nope, there's nothing. Pop, right in the other eye. And now he's blind. Pop, I shot it 10 to 11 more times with a BB gun, and it didn't do anything. It would run away, and I'd be like, Stetson, go get this rabbit, bring it back here, hold it. He's like, I don't like doing this anymore. And eventually I got smart, went and grabbed a 2x4 and beat it to death. I felt so bad, but I needed to finish it at that time. It's a blind rabbit. Nobody wants a blind rabbit.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
I mean,
it was bad.
There was one time where our neighbors had like a litter of rabbits, and so like my mom and I went over there and was like, oh yeah, and so we ended up I had one of the rabbits. I got one of the rabbits, and it was white with red eyes.
Ooh. The devil.
And so I was like, okay. And so, like, we had it in a little cage, and I just kept it there and fed it and stuff until it grew up a little bit more. And I was like, I like this rabbit. And so I'd try and hold it and stuff. Whenever I tried to hold it, it would just claw me like crazy. It hated me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man. And then
this is me.
I think we were, like, out, like, we ended up butchering, like, one of our cows or something like that. And I was like, can we go shoot my rabbit?
You just ticked.
And they're like...
I totally remember that rabbit. I totally remember it. Yeah. Yep.
And they're like, okay, sure. All right, let's go. And they brought one of their guns. And I was like, all right, like, here, you can shoot it. I was like, okay. And then I shot once and like
missed.
I just shot at its entire body, so I just hit it somewhere, and we just let it out, and it was like flopping around. So my brother went and finished it off, and then I was like,
you know how to shoot too.
I don't want a rabbit anymore.
I just remember coming back one time and seeing the rabbit. You're like, I hate that thing. And then the next day, like some of the days later, I came back and you were like, I was like, what happened to the rabbit? Oh, it died.
Yeah.
It died.
There's some things like I felt really like. There's some things I like. Like I like when we butcher chickens and stuff because that's fun. Chop their heads off or whatever. That's the only time I like killing animals.
No. Yeah, it's just enjoy.
That sounds so bad. But
I just love cutting out their heads and then they go
watching them flop around for like 30 seconds.
So bad.
Oh
man, we're not torturous people. We love cutting off the heads of chickens.
I mean, that's the thing. They die. Right
they
away.
die instantly.
But then,
They just move around
like,
a lot.
oh look, it's blinking. Still.
It's still blinking.
I'm like, oh man, okay. But there's one time where my dad, because he has pigeons, and he used to race them and stuff, and so.
I've heard that.
And he'd let them out, and so they'd
fly around.
Hawks would be flying around all the time, and so my dad was always on the lookout for hawks. Mm-hmm. And so if he did, he'd try and shoot it. Yeah. And there's one where he like just winged it, and so it
that was just like found right
down like just on the ground somewhere. And my dad was like, "Hey, here, go kill it. Go kill the hawk. Go finish it off." Here's a 2x4. I was like, oh man,
I gotta beat this thing.
Yeah, so I walked up to it, and it looked at you like with the big beady eyes. I was like,
kill me, please.
Oh man, I don't want to kill this thing.
I know exactly.
Oh, but I was like, whack. I was like, oh,
just as you're beating it, this hurts me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
It's like my mom with punishment. She's like beating me. Like, shut up, Mom. You don't know that. It hurts me a lot. Why'd you bring out the belt? Okay. I mean, I was spanked until I started not feeling pain. It started hurting her. It started hurting her hand.
I mean, I got spanked, but I didn't get spanked all that much because I tried to be as good of a boy as possible.
He got spanked a lot more than I did.
There's a couple times where I got spanked, and then if I would, it was just because I didn't do
something.
I think one time it was like when I was like the only year I homeschooled first grade, and one time like I didn't want to do my homework or whatever, and so my mom spanked me. And then there was other times where like they're like, okay, you need to go do the chores. You need to go do your chores, and you go feed the chickens, whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, okay, I'll do them. And they kept telling me, like, you need to go do the chores. But I didn't want to go because we had company here. And I didn't want to leave. And then they're eventually like, all right, go downstairs. So I'm going to meet you down there.
Yeah, I'm going to meet you down there in 5 minutes with a pallet, with holes.
With a paddle. Okay. Well, we had like a leather strap with like a handle on it.
Yeah. Okay, so it's easier to beat you then.
Yeah.
Convenience. Yeah. We had my brother had this little kitten, and this is just a terrible story. I mean, it's not a story really, but basically he shoots this window, and we were wondering where this cat was. This little kitten was. This is a window broken, and we shot it from the outside in. Okay, so it was shooting in, and the glass fell in, and we were looking around.
Where though? Like
inside this little building.
Oh, just like an old building that was just broken down.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked like almost looked like a greenhouse. It was a greenhouse actually.
Oh, okay.
And we found this cat. And basically, this glass was stuck up, kind of like slanted, and the cat literally walked through to where it went into his throat. And this little baby kitten, that was probably that was where I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah,
that draws. You can't see the glass when it's pointed straight at you. That cat could have never just done. It's right there. Yeah, it was so bad.
See, luckily we never had a problem, like, because we used to have a ton of stray cats around our house.
We did too.
That was just in the woods and stuff, and then sometimes we'd find a litter like in hay bales or something, and then we just take them
and just steal them from the mother. Mother comes back. Where the heck are my kitties?
Yeah, and then we'd raise them and stuff, and then usually
they'd run
probably
away.
50% of them just disappeared after a while.
This is why you have so many stray cats.
Yeah, and they would just disappear, and we never really knew what happened to them. Like, whatever. We never like saw them dead or anything, so they just ran off or something.
Yeah,
but we had a few of them that we kept around and had them for quite a while. But then, we liked them, but there weren't as many of them anymore, so they just kind of went away, and we never had cats anymore.
I was at the church in Iowa. This is the most amount of animal slaughter I've ever seen. We had a ranch of like 56 cows. Okay. And I was at a church with my dad, and it was a really bad lightning storm. Oh. I remember one specific time I looked out the window and I saw this lightning strike, and I said, that's not good. I don't know why. And just that one, I was like 7 years old, but I knew something was up. I was 6 years old. I looked at the window and I was like, that's like right where our house is. Oh. Like, that's like right where our house is. And I went back home. My dad went out to check, and we had this big, gigantic tree. It was an open field and a gigantic tree. And we all know cows like to huddle under trees. This one tree had 56 cows. No, actually, no. Oh, I think 11 survived.
Okay.
Basically.
Had a bunch of cows under it.
Yeah, a bunch of cows around it. One lightning strike hit the tree, split the tree, and everybody around it got electrocuted. The entire, I don't know how. One of them must have been touching the tree, and it went from that to the next one, because as soon as it hits ground, it's done.
Well, but basically, when they're that close to, it's not super hard for it to arc over.
So every single one of those cows died. We all of a sudden lost our entire cow. Other than 11, we had 11 left.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, we never had anything like that. Like, yeah, which of course we never really had a whole lot of cows. We had a milk cow, and then we got a couple longhorn cows just as
your cows
for fun. Yeah, and then we had some like. Because we would breed the milk cow to like an Angus or something, and then raise it up and then butcher it and eat it. Or there was sometimes where my brothers also raised some. They'd raise 4-H steers, and so they'd have those. But we just raise them and then sell them. I think there was 1 or 2 years where they didn't sell because one of them was because it was so wild, and he couldn't actually like tame it or like show it, because you had to be able to show it in order to sell it, and so they couldn't do that. And then later my brothers ended up, since it was so crazy and wild anyways, we have lots of videos of these actually, of my brothers we had kind of a makeshift shoot, and we'd make, I guess there's actually some where you guys were there, like in the background, just like sitting on the fence watching, where we'd like go we'd put them in this, like, we had a makeshift chute, pin them in there, put a rope on them and stuff, and my brothers would like take turns riding them until he just do obeyed? That until he was okay. Until he obeyed, not until it was okay. No, that wasn't gonna help him at all. Okay, but they ride him until he was too tired to buck anymore.
And they would take him out?
Then they just leave him.
Okay. just basically...
They just did it for the riding. They just did it for the riding. That's...
Gradual physical torture.
A lot of it is how my brothers actually kind of got into rough stock.
Oh, okay.
Like bull riding and stuff.
Yeah.
Is from that. And I remember there was one video where it was the funniest thing ever, where one of them actually ran over my brother Lester. Like, cause it was at that point where I was getting really tired and really angry, and he was like and like chasing it around, and he like grabbed his tail, I think, and then it like whipped around and and he just ran over, and we would just die laughing at that all the time.
All right, well, we are at the What are we at?
Hour and 8.
We're at the hour 8 mark. Probably should close it out pretty soon here. I have like 2 more stories. I have a mysterious thing.
I like how we said, all right, we're going to go away from the animal slaughter now.
And we went straight into animal slaughter.
Back to it.
So this whole episode is going to be called Animal Slaughter.
It's all about just
last one was Asian Hitler, so we got some questions here. Okay, so this next one's not a slaughter. Okay, it's a question. It's a mystery.
Okay.
So, one day, I had this bird cage. I had this big cage. It was like for a rabbit.
Okay.
But it was really, really close. There was no way anybody can go through it. Okay, any animal can go through it. And I found a bird. It was like a little birdie, little baby birdie on the ground. It just like attempted to fly and failed, and it was on the ground running around. And I picked it up and I put it in that cage. All right. Close the cage, lock the cage. Everything's closed. I walk away. 5 minutes later, I turn around and come back. My mom's not home. My dad's not home. My brother's not there. He didn't see it. I walk back. The cage is open, and the little birdie is with its mother up on the tree. And the bird, I was like,
Okay.
How did you get?
What?
How did mystery, guys?
Yeah,
solve it in the comments. Last story. This is just really, really cool. Everybody will tell it. You actually were there. So we got a story. I was at the Chups at this time, and we got a story that there's a power line down, and we were supposed to go look at it. And I guess it was. Was it already? Did everybody already know it, or did we just go to check it out?
We had heard about it. Because it was like nearby their house. It was for Brian's birthday party. I think it was like his 13th birthday or something. And so we had gone up there. Yeah, we just heard about it.
Did you hear about the animals?
They fixed it. We heard about the animals.
Okay.
We heard that the power line was down. We heard that they fixed the power line.
Okay.
And so we're like, hey, we're going to go up there and see what we can find.
Check it out. Yeah. Because it was in the newspaper. It was so cool. So basically, what I have written down here, we walked out there. And there was this, it was like a slaughter, okay? So I guess what happened was this power line went down, okay? It was dragging on the ground, but it was still good. It was still alive. And a deer came over, a doe specifically, came over, touched the line, dropped dead right there. So then, that being there, other animals that were predators came to get that deer. We have 2 wolves. I have 2 wolves down here. I have 1 bear. There was a bear on the ground. 2 turkey vultures and a mountain lion. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all those were there.
I don't remember the mountain lion. I remember the bear because...
Yeah, the bear was the big thing.
Yeah, because that's what we went... Maybe we went there and we...
we took out. Stuff.
Well,
we took its claws. And then Brian's dad had a brand new knife, and he was like, "I'm gonna try to get one of these things' teeth." Sticks the knife in
to pry its mouth open.
Yeah, immediately twists, breaks the knife right there.
Yeah,
you're like, "This is a brand new knife." It's like $60 knife he just bought.
Yeah, $50. He just went to like pry its mouth open just to see if he can carve out some teeth.
Didn't work at all.
Broke the blade off the knife immediately.
Immediately. That knife is either that weak because I don't think even if it couldn't move, he didn't have the strength to break it straight off though. That's straight up metal. I mean,
but I mean, it depends on how brittle it is.
Okay.
Too. It could be pretty hard, solid, but like side pressure.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Just snap it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a really, really cool. Like that's a once in a lifetime thing that all those animals did.
Yeah, and I remember we took claws out.
Yep.
Took them home. I have one still.
Yeah.
And like boiled them up, all the stuff off of them, and then like
tossed
we each
them out.
got one.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was really cool. That was a really cool story. It was on the newspaper and everything. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and close this thing up. I had a lot of fun with this podcast. It was a lot of fun. Good stories. A lot of funny.
See, that's the thing. When you'd said this, said oh hey, we should talk about some like childhood stories. For me, I'm always like, anything. I don't freaking know anything. I just can't think. But that's one of the, I'm trying to think of something out of the blue. Yeah, and then once the topic comes around and you start talking about old things, then other stuff comes up that I'd like, oh yeah, there's that, and then there's that. But it was already too late. We'd gone past it and we didn't talk about it anyways.
Yeah.
But hey,
it worked out.
May get uncovered
over
sometime.
An hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the way, we are taking special guests. If anybody does happen to want to be on the podcast, you're gonna need to message me like what you're good at, because I don't want you to like come on for politics and then you not know anything about politics.
Well, just say what you want to talk about.
Or like, well, specifically, I mean, we'll probably pick it out, but I mean, like, I don't know. Anyway, I just have some friends that might want to do it. might have wanted to do it. What?
So, President Donald Trump, if you're listening, come on to our podcast.
Yeah, so
and talk with
we
us.
are. We need that boost of viewers.
Yeah, we need some viewership.
We need some viewership here. Yep.
If you happen to be famous and want to talk to us,
come to me.
Yeah.
Email me at tyreljmueller@fvcc.com or .edu. I lied. That's for all the followers. Anyway, so like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for listening in on the T&M Podcast episode 9. This has been Tyrell Miller here.
Yeah. And this is Tim Ash.
Yeah. All right. Well, we is signing out. That's what we do.